afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. Well, you guys, I'm here for a quick garden tour of what's left that I will show you. And we're starting at the front. I have on my heated shawl. We're gonna start at the front. Then I will meet you at the greenhouse and then in the back room. Okay, up front we have the pak choi. I had actually bought the pak choi at the farmer's market about 2 months ago now, and I decided after I cooked some, I was like, I'm gonna root this nub, and it was a few leaves left on the nub. I did it and it has taken off. I also have winter choi in the pot with it, and then in the smaller pot, let's step outside real quick and excuse my yard, y'all. It's a mess. Okay, you can see here, and those 2 rakes are there because I have a squirrel who was eating on the pak choi, but the rakes seem to have stopped him, and I'm gonna leave them there. Okay, so this is the winter choi that I started back in September by seed, and then this is the pak choi. So it's growing pretty good, doing fine. We've been having freezes for 3 weeks straight every night, and it's cold now. This is the other winter choi that I started. My sister was supposed to come get some. She never did. And so whatever happens to it will happen. I'm gonna just leave it there. But I did transplant one of the plants into this bigger container, and I might do a few more of the bigger, larger ones in there, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we shall head to the back. See you there. Okay, I haven't cleaned up much because I haven't been able to. You all know the story. But I did get out here the other day and I blew the leaves. Look at it, y'all. Believe me, it was clear 3 days ago. I may as well wait until the leaves are finished falling because it will not get any better. Okay. The onions that I planted, remember the onion sets? A few of them have come up. I'll just let them come up, die. It's not that many. Well, there's one that are covered by leaves. Okay, let me show them to you. We've had quite a few to come up. There's one right there. There's one. There's one right there. And I figured that, that they would come up. And they have, so let's cover them back up with the leaves. The leaves are coming in handy. A squirrel got this one and that one, I can see. Let's stick them back in. Let's see if maybe they'll still come up next year. I'm quite sure he's gotten others as well, but he didn't get them all. I planted some in here, don't see anything. And as you can see, my tables have pretty much, they're done. Oh, these 2 have done really well. Well, there's one right there, and here's one right here. Okay, they've done well on this table. Let's cover them up a little bit. Like I said, I'll let them die, and then they'll come back next year. That little eggplant is still trying to hang in there, you guys. Right there. The basil, and then I have a new pepper here. A candy cane at that. Look at that, y'all. So stuff is still trying to hang in there. Oh, lettuce. Okay, we've got some red lettuce here. I think I'm gonna dig that up before I even go in, and we're gonna repot that in this empty pot here. And the reason is that when I went to the farmer's market on today, he did not bring back his starts. He got rid of them because they weren't selling that well. And so I was like, man, this is the week I was getting ready to load up. I was gonna get the red lettuce and the butter crunch, and that stuff looked good. Hopefully, I would have sold it to somebody, just anybody. I would have given it away. Maybe he did, I don't know. But he said that he didn't, it will not be there no more this season. So that's the end of that. So I couldn't get the lettuce. So I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna pull it up by the roots, and I'm gonna go on and plant this indoors. I'm dealing with fungus gnats anyway. I may as well That way I can keep that red lettuce going over the winter. Now, since we're back here, before I go into the greenhouse, I still have flowers coming on tomatoes, you guys. I haven't watered in over a month and they're still producing. How? I don't know, because believe me when I say we are almost into winter here in Michigan. We haven't been getting any higher than, if we get to 50, we're lucky. It's been cold. Okay, shall return inside of the greenhouse. Okay, we have made it inside of the greenhouse where it is still warm. I haven't done anything in here, you guys, and I won't. I will not be doing anything. The shade cloth will even stay up. The most I've done is I've tried to shore up a little bit, and everything has stayed put thus far. So at least the roof is fairly shored up in here. That's all I can do, you guys. I'm not going any further. It is currently 40, it's almost 50 in here. It's about, oops, let me zoom out. This camera, I think, is zoomed in. Yeah, it was. As you can see, it's under 50 in the greenhouse. Again, we have rain coming. That's all we've been getting, you guys. And so we're into, you know, winter has arrived for us. We're not going to get any better. That ground cherry, this is a perennial ground cherry. It never grew, it never took off, but it survived. And so I'm leaving it here. It will remain, and we'll see. And it looks like it's spread. So we will see what happened. This is some lettuce back here. I finally figured out what it is, and it's doing okay. Here we have collards. There's some broccoli sprinkled in there somewhere, but the collards have really taken off in the little deck gardens. This is Sherry's cotton plant that she wants me to bring in, fungus gnats and all. I told her I'm not doing it, Sherry, because all she got was one bowl, and that bowl is very, very small. Nothing else produced. I mean, it's a beautiful plant. I wish I could overwinter it some kind of way, but I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think cotton can be overwintered, not even indoors. So I told her I'm gonna order some more seeds, and then she can, we can try again next year. Okay, as you can see, the Swiss chard is ready for a cut. I'm gonna cut, it's November 1st. I'm gonna cut in 2 weeks. I'm gonna come and cut and be done with the winter stuff. There's some more greens back there. I don't expect cabbage. I don't expect broccoli. It's just too cold, even in the greenhouse. This isn't a 4-season greenhouse. Okay, so I'm gonna come and cut more greens there, more Swiss chard here. I'm gonna come and cut that. I still have blooms on the pigeon peas, y'all. I've yet to produce, I've produced one pigeon pea, and there he is. That's all I produce. So, you know what? Just to say I was successful, I'm gonna pluck his behind. There he is. But for the rest, I've gotten blooms for months, and they just haven't produced. As you can see, the blooms are still there, loaded with blooms. And I'm gonna just leave that there and see what happens. It might overwinter for me. This is a cabbage here, but like I said, it's starting to head up in there, but it's not going to produce for me, but it's gonna stay. There's a potato plant that has come up, so I'm gonna leave that there too. And then my other greens, they're ready. And so I'm gonna leave those. And like I said, in 2 weeks, we're gonna pick my late brother's birthday, November 12th. I will be out here, and I'm gonna just cut the leaves that I can get, and they will be used, because the frost will have hit them. They will be used for Thanksgiving. Y'all, I got my oxtails yesterday. It took me 3 weeks to get those bad boys. Let me sit down for just 1 second here and rest these legs. And there's an eggplant, you guys, that's still there. Anyway, yes, I wanted some oxtails for the holidays, and oxtails are very expensive, but we have one secret place here that I will not ever tell, because someone gave me that place, and I have kept it a secret. Anyway, they sell oxtails very, well, not very cheap, but cheaper In the store, you get a pack, and I counted them at the store the other week. I was like, let me see. The oxtails, the pack was $20, and I was like, let me count to see how many oxtails are in here. It was one big one, one medium one, and one teeny tiny one. I was like, hell to the no. Yeah, I said it. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Y'all done heard that song? I said, no way. And so, and you know, you got people who's probably buying them. Well, I went to my secret spot. This was 3 weeks ago. I went to my secret spot, and he said, we've got a restaurant person, and I might have told y'all about this. He was telling me that this person who has a restaurant, I guess in our city or in the next city or wherever he has it. He found out about how he sells the oxtails cheap. And so he comes in every week. They bring 10 cases a week. And this guy or this woman or whoever it is has been coming in and purchasing every case. And so no one's been able to get them. So those who know about this spot have been calling. They'll call and say, have they come in? Have they come in or whatever? And that person had beat us. I was like, not sharp IQ. You know me. I'm the early bird that gets the worm. Oh, I got up extra early on yesterday. For 2 weeks I tried. Well, the first week he didn't have them, and he told me what the deal was. He said, you gotta call early, you gotta come early, blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay. Last week, it was like, I think 2 or 3 o'clock. And so, and I was making sure that the butcher was there, because there is a butcher. He's not always there, but he's there at a certain time on certain days. And so I had to make sure I had everything correlated. And so the butcher was there, but the oxtails had sold. No, they didn't get an order. That's what happened. He's like, we didn't get the order. But apparently, I guess the order did come in either later or that next day, and they were gone. So I was like, okay, now I got to get even smarter. Yesterday, soon as I woke up, I started calling. And so I wasn't getting any answer. So finally, I was like, I'm going to give it until noon. I said, and then I'm going to call again. I really didn't expect to get any. I called. He said they just arrived. I was like, I'm on my way. Save me one. Well, what they do, in order to sell the oxtails cheaper, they sell it as a whole tail. And they price them differently. He had them priced as high. The highest price I saw was $80. But this was an oxtail out of this world, okay? I'm talking the whole tail of the ox. From the beginning all the way down to the little squiggly part at the end. I'm thinking of a pig, but you know what I'm saying. These are some large oxtails, so you know you're going to get quite a bit from that bunch. Well, the highest price one I saw was like $84, 82 or 84. I was like, yeah, that's a lot. But I was thinking, okay, he's going to get a lot out of that. I bought the cheapest one that I saw, of course, and the one I bought was actually $62. I was like, that's still a lot to be paying for some oxtails, but I'm starting to look at this tail, what I saw, and I was like, this is going to get me enough for at least, you know, it's going to get me enough or a lot where one meal's not going to, unless I was cooking for a family. But since it's just me, I said, I'm going to get my money's worth out of this. Sure enough, the butcher was there. I picked that one, that cheapest one, and I asked him if he cut it for me. He cut it, and I came out of there. He had it in a big package and everything. I paid for him, and I was like, well, New Year's is set, because that's what I'm going to have some of them for. Not all of them, but some of them. When I got home, opened that package and separated them, I ended up with 3 bags, 3, you know, the gallon-sized bags, Ziplocs full of oxtails. I think when after I counted, it was 28. It was 28 oxtails. It was like maybe 6 or 7 of the big giant ones from the top of the tail. Then about maybe 10 of the, you know, the other, they're big, but they're not gigantic. And then there were some of the medium size, and it went all the way to the small. The small, I counted all together, there were only 5 smalls. The rest of them were decent size. And when I say I filled 3 gallon size Ziplocs, I said, this is 3 meals, 3 different oxtail meals. They'll go into, well into next year, because I don't eat, well, first of all, I might only eat oxtails once a year, or if at the most twice a year. I've had them once this year, and that's it. And that was from the last batch that I bought, which was well over a year ago from the same supplier. It's been well over a year. And so anyway, at that time, I only paid, the pack was like only $40. And the reason why the pack was so cheap was because I got the smallest one in there. And, you know, it was before all this stuff, you know, the mad rush had happened. So it was a little cheaper, or a lot cheaper. So for $20 more than what I paid over a year ago, and for me to get so much more, I'm satisfied. You know, some people probably still wouldn't pay $60, but for me, it's well worth it, because it's just me, and I know I'm gonna get 3 meals, actually more than 3 meals, because basically after I cook what's in the first pack, and it's, you know, 7 times 4 is 28. So I think there's like 8 or 9. It's 9 oxtails, because 9 times 3 is 27, because that's how I set it up. And then one of them has 10 for the 28th. And so, and that 10th one is a teeny tiny one. I made sure that 10th one would be a small one. And so for me to get that many, I'm gonna eat off those things for probably 2 or 3 days, you know, or I can even freeze some cooked. However, you know, so I said New Year's, and it's for special occasion only. So I will have them for New Year's, and then I will probably save the rest for next year. You know, I'm gonna get them double bagged and all that good stuff so that they don't get freezer burn. And you know, my deep freezer doesn't really freezer burn things at all. That's where I keep my most important stuff, and I've yet to deal with freezer burn. Now my side by side in the kitchen, it will freezer burn if I don't wrap it, you know, properly, or store like meat. If I don't, like fish, if I don't put it in water to freeze it, it will freezer burn. But that other one, I've never had a problem with freezer burn, ever. And probably because it's packed so tight, it doesn't have a chance to do that. But anyway, okay, so we're at 17 minutes, so let's head inside, and I will finish off the garden tour with what's in the back room. Shall return. Okay, y'all, I'm back 20 minutes later. Okay, I'm in the back room. I just finished, I pulled all the leaves out of this lettuce. I transplanted it from the crate into the smaller container, and I can continue on with this. This is wilted, but I believe it will come back. The heat mat, I started using the heat mat on yesterday for the mint and the Piper nigrum. And y'all, I'm down to 4 leaves on the Piper nigrum, because, and this one looks like it's getting that disease too, so it will fall off. And yeah, that was a fungus gnat that just flew in front of my finger. They're not as bad, but I still have them. So I've been just spraying that 7. I haven't been spraying the insecticide, but I may have to do 1 good dose of it. But the reason why I hadn't sprayed the insecticide is because I'm still cutting off the mint every few days. And I'm cutting off the arugula as well. And so I don't want to have insecticide on it. So I'm going to just keep fighting the fungus gnats with the 7, which is safe for fruits and vegetables. And hopefully that will eventually get rid of them. But now that I have the heat mat on, it might make more produce. We'll see. But I'll just have to deal with it. If nothing else, I'll close this doggone door if they start getting out into the common area of the Que-stead, okay? Look at me, y'all. You see I'm in my heated shawl, so I stayed warm while I was out there braving the elements once again, okay? I just wear my heated shawl when I go outside. So anyway, so to have mint, the pepper plant, I have arugula, and I still have lettuce, even after the devastation of today. I would have loved that butter crunch, but that's okay. I'm fine, because I have this red leaf lettuce, and I forgot the name of it. It was from In My Garden. I think it's called Ruby Red lettuce. And actually, it's starting to look better already. And the fungus gnats will attack, but I know what to do. So I'm actually give this a cut, just so that it can start all over again and whatnot. And then we'll go from there. But I'll do that at a later date. I'm gonna let it acclimate first, because the leaves that one, it just pulled right off. That was the worst one. But the rest of them, oh, they're freezing cold. But you're gonna warm up, little guy. We're gonna give you a name. I'm gonna name you after our new mayoral hopeful, Mike. I'm gonna name you Mike. And speaking of Mike, y'all know that he's not only a personal friend, but I believe he's the best candidate to keep our city moving forward. I'm just not willing to turn it back over to someone who was involved in the last, set of politicians that we ended up coming up under an emergency manager for. We were in a deficit, all that good stuff. Yeah, he's smart. He's a good person. And technically, if no one else was running against him, or if it was anyone else but Mike, I would have probably voted for him. But nope. I think those who were instrumental in helping our city, because Mike is our city council president. So those who were instrumental in helping our city to have a new A+ rating, a $55 million surplus, and all that, they should be the ones rewarded to continue moving our city ahead. Let's see how far they can go. I don't want to bring nobody in that wasn't a part of where we're at now, to tell you the truth. He may have been behind the scenes. I really don't know. But nope. I'm going with Mike. And that's friend or no friend. If I didn't even know Mike, I would not. I still would have probably chosen him, because I keep up with the political stuff, watch city council meetings, that type of thing. And he's been on so many. He was the school board president. He was over our historical society. He's been involved with beautifying our neighborhood. He was instrumental in that letter I got from the governor in a roundabout way, because our state senator, and at that time, she wasn't even our state senator. She went to an art show that Mike hosted downtown Pontiac, and she was running for state senator. We had no idea if she was going to win or not. In fact, I didn't think she had won until I found out that she did days later. But anyway, she was running for state senator at the time, and I had donated a Quirky Q bag, and I gave it to Mike. I was like, have someone, whoever's an artist there, because I wanted to be involved with it, but I couldn't do it because I was still taking care of Mom. So I couldn't make up enough bags to sell at the art exhibit or display it. So I gave it to him, and he took it. And so Senator Bear happened to see it, and so she asked Mike to get in contact with me, to see if I would make her 5 bags. She commissioned me to make her 5 Quirky Q bags for she and her daughters for the beach and all this stuff. So I accepted, and I did it, gave her my price and everything. And so once I was done with it, I let Mike know. I said, call her up and let her know they're ready. And so I said, pass on my number so that she can set up a time to come pick them up, because, I was caring for Mom. I couldn't drop them off anywhere. And so by then she had won as senator. So a senator came to my home. This was my old home. And we sat and talked for a while. She, her husband, and I, we talked for a while. She's still our senator, and hopefully she's up for re-election. She'll be winning, hopefully, again next year. But anyway, she got it. And then I gave her a 6th bag. I was like, listen, I don't know if you'll ever meet the governor, but if you do, will you give her this one? And it was a patriotic bag. And so it was red, white, and blue. And I decked it out too. She was like, if I see her, I will, because she still had to be sworn in on the 1st of January. So I figured if it was any time that she might see the governor, that would be it. Sure enough, it was. And as a result, I ended up a couple of months later, out of the blue, hadn't even thought about it. Couple of months, I get this letter. It's in an official envelope with the Michigan seal. And I looked and I was like, oh my goodness, it was from the governor. And she was letting me know that she received a bag and to thank me and how talented a lot of people. And then she told me about her grandfather being the superintendent of our schools. And we have a building named after him, the Dana P. Whitmer Elementary. Well, not our school board. That's Odell Nails. We have a school named after him. It's called WHRC, but it stands for the Dana P. Whitmer school. And so anyway, and then we have another school. Did we have we used to have a Whitmer Elementary, I'm not sure. But anyway, the name Whitmer, is synonymous with Pontiac. And so for her to be our governor and to be a direct descendant of him, then that's great. Okay, but anyway, so Mike, that's how he was instrumental in a roundabout way, because if it had not been for that commission and whatnot, that would not have happened. So I'm going to get the letter framed. I haven't done it yet. It's still in the envelope, but I think I've shown it to you guys. I'm going to get it framed, and that will be put into my archives, and it's going to be worth something later on. Antiques Roadshow, they're always doing letters from past political people that are worth money. Okay, so anyway, so let's look at Bouncy. Bouncy is still bouncing, as you can see. still going strong. Bouncy likes it up there on that dark top shelf. Bouncy likes light, but Bouncy doesn't like too much light. So where he's placed, that has always been the best spot for him. I found out after I brought him down. So we're going to leave him right where he's at. The tomatoes, these are the ones, and I've been eating them left and right. They're releasing that ethanol or whatever that chemical is that once one turns red, the rest of them, this one is no good. I think these are San Marzanos. I'm not sure. So somebody tell me. But anyway, and then my other ones are starting to turn red. These are the two I will keep. And then I'm waiting on my bad boys, the black cherry tomatoes. I did get some, and every tomato was green when I brought it inside. And then I had one red one, and I left it in the bowl so that the chemical could start turning the other ones green. And that's exactly what's happening. And they're still fresh and everything. So, and I've been eating them, y'all. That's why the bowl is empty and part of the plate. When one turns red, I eat them. So I'm going to get these off today. These red ones, I'll leave one so that it'll keep them going. But they're doing pretty good. So they're here on the bed right now. But I took them, I took them off the table because of the heat mat being on. So look at that. That lettuce is bouncing back already. I can look at it and tell. So that's good. Okay, so I'm going to get off of here, you guys, because I'm almost at 30 minutes and I'm low on storage again. But I think I know what the problem is, so I'm going to get my phone cleaned out later today. And I will talk to you guys later. And may God bless you all. And don't forget, if you're interested, join me over at my new channel. And I changed the name. It was Q in the Metaverse. I decided to reach more people. I changed the name to Senior Citizens in the Metaverse. That's the name of the channel now. So if you need a link, I will post a link for you. And come on and join me. It's going to be a fun little channel. So I will talk to you guys later. And may God bless you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I will be back Tuesday to let you know if Mike wins this election, because we had a rally today. And I tell you, most of the city showed up for the rally because an attack happened the other day that kind of sealed the fate for anybody who the opponent and others. And it came from someone who's running for council person in my district. So she can forget it. Okay. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye. See you on Tuesday.